for. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Rush Propst Show. Jeff Underwood, this guy right here. This is Jared White, looking good. Got his Coosa gear. Coach, how you like his hat? You got one of those hats?
No, I don't.
They didn't give you one.
I don't.
I mean, you're the freaking coach, and they didn't give you one of the leather patch.
Shirts either.
My bad. I didn't mean to show you up. I had to change.
I can show you where they're at in your office.
Yeah,
I know where they're at, Coach. I'll get you.
Matter of fact, we snuck in and got these.
I don't have a lot of Coosa gear. Got a little bit.
Yeah, you got that visor though. Come on, your visor game.
Got two of them.
I ain't seen somebody wear a
in case
visor
you throw
like
one in
that.
the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has an extra.
Multicolored. I got multicolored.
You never know. Man, hey, let's take it back for the ones. First of all, hey, thanks for tuning into the show, guys. This will be a weekly thing, and we're going to talk all things Coosa Christian football.
Yeah, man.
And, of course, we're going to try to do some high-level. No, we're not.
That's not
kidding.
true.
This ain't
He's
that
going to
show.
do high-level stuff, not us.
I enjoy talking just X's and O's, Coach, hanging out with you and Alaric over the years and just listen to conversations. What did you miss most about when you weren't coaching?
Relationship with kids.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
There was two things that really drove me back into it. Was relationship. Well, it's really three things. First, I would say the good Lord has been pulling on me for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it really got intense back in spring, late, early summer, about getting back into football. And so I felt like, I was intending on just helping Mark
Yeah.
every day, sort of helping him run the offense or helping Larry run the offense and sort of sitting as a consultant, but being at practice and traveling with the team. And I was content with that. And then all that happened. And I really thought about it a few days, whether I really wanted to do it or not, because of some of the controversy and all that kind of stuff. But the good Lord was working on my heart and my soul and my mind. And I really believe that because I was uneasy. I was irritable. I was, I'd call my kids and call special friends and coaching. And, half would say do it. Some would say no. You don't need that, blah, 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 and all that. But at the end of the day, it comes back to that and the kids. And I feel like the kids needed a leader. I think they needed something to get them through some rough times, some difficult times that they've been through. And I've had experience with that, as we all know. And so that was probably the two things, the good Lord and the kids, the relationship with those players that you have. And so I think the final decision was made on August 1st when I knew Mark was probably going to have to do what he had to do. And I went to a reunion at Hoover, the 2004 state championship team that was the only undefeated team I had there. It was 15-0. The rest of them were all 14-1. Those players that night, along with my coach staff, were nearly every one of them were there.
Heck yeah.
And they, two of them were at the Pentagon. You had doctors, you had lawyers, engineers, and that relationship and how emotional it was that night. It was emotional, and some of those kids and the things they said to me, and then I just unbelievably, I get a phone call the day after Mark resigned on that Saturday. I get a phone call on Sunday from a former player in Mobile, Brandon Johnson, who played at Auburn.
Yeah.
And he basically told me how much I meant to him and how I changed his life and, wanted me to get back into coaching and thought this opportunity was an opportunity that you needed to do and how I helped him to maneuver through some of his dark times as a player. And so with all that compounding, and it goes back to relationship with your players, dear, I think that, you can't turn your back on our youth, especially today. You cannot turn your back on the youth of this country. And hopefully I can maneuver that. And then the last thing is I got the Friday nights I could do away with. I mean, the Friday nights didn't bother me. Being away from football on Friday nights was sort of a little bit of a relief, really. What I really missed the most was the grind from Sunday to Friday.
I understand that.
The work and the putting the plan together and 12 to 14-hour days that you have to grind to get a plan put together. And so those are the three things that drew me back in.
Let's stay there, Coach Probst. Everybody knows you're a winner. Everybody knows you're a leader. Everybody knows you're a coach, a mentor. They know that about you, right? I mean, they see you on Fridays, right? I mean, but what most people don't see, you keep mentioning the Lord. They don't see
No.
this different side, this softer side, and they're really. I mean, we come out and watch you coach and watch you do all these things as media. Um, we see that a little bit. We never report on it because that's not sensational, right? But you keep talking about relationships and the Lord. Um, talk up a little bit about that, your family, and just kind of how all this thing fits together. You
Yeah.
mentioned that off air before we all went on. You talked about the importance of your family, your grandkids. Let's let the people of Coosa, Etowah County, Alabama, and the Southeast um, hear that side of coach and how important that is to you.
Well, I was saved when I was 16 years old at Oak Bowery Baptist Church.
Yeah, we
Yes,
know,
I
Barry.
got you.
Yeah,
Yep, Apache.
yeah,
And but I grew up Methodist, and my mother and dad were staunch Methodists out there at the First United Methodist Church right there across from the high school.
yeah.
And we could walk to church. We were only 2 houses down from there when I was growing up. So I grew up in a church home. Mother and dad were both Christians, and but I was saved in a Baptist church. And then, as we all know the story, the humanistic side of things took over in my life, and the priorities got messed up.
Yeah.
And winning became at all cost. And and then with that, and you don't have the Lord in your life like I did, uh, you're going to end up messing up. And that's what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happened. And I think that at Hoover was a tough time for me as a human being, as a man, as a Christian, to be ridiculed and to be uh, basically persecuted for what I did. Nobody did it, I did it.
Sure.
And so I take full responsibility for it. And but with that, Steph and I both believe that we've both been forgiven. We know that. We both have a walk with Christ.
Heck yeah.
We know where we are today as forgiven sinners that we all are. And I think that with that, I put my family through, you know what? Pure double HEL, you know what? I mean, I put them through a tough time. But the kids came to live with me, except for Brian, because of the Hoover's track program. So we had 6 children with us in South Georgia, and one stayed in Birmingham, and then he eventually came to work for me. Brian did.
Mhm.
But I love my children, and the good thing I've got going on with my children right now, they all love one another.
That's
We
awesome.
got together at 4th of July, all the wives, all the grandkids, everybody got together. We had a great 4 days, and we'll get together at Christmas. But a lot of times when you go through those kinds, divorce is tough,
Sure.
and but and a lot of times you can't mesh it together.
Hmm.
But I am so fortunate to have a loving family. There's my wife is awesome. She is super. We've been together a long time, and and my ex-wife, we have a good relationship. Tammy's she's got a good. We have a good relationship, and and she lives right here in Southside.
Mhm.
So I think that the whole thing is that you gotta really care about your family, and it's got to be family first. It has to be. And I think when I went to Georgia, there was a pastor down there named Hugh Ward, Presbyterian preacher. He was the second person. They approved me at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning on January 31st to take the job. I turned it down 3 times in South Georgia. Mr. McCoy, the superintendent, kept coming back, kept coming back, kept coming back, kept pulling at me. And the last time Steph and I went down there was a sunset in South Georgia where all that flat land was gorgeous. And we just thought that was a sign that we needed to be here. And so we took that job. But later the next day, I met with a preacher there in town, Hugh Ward. I think Mr. McCoy felt like I needed someone in my life at that time, and he put him in my life, and I had a lot of guilt, a lot of things that I needed to talk to him about, and he more than anybody really I felt like got my life straightened out and got me closer to God and closer to my Savior Jesus. And I think that with that, now I'm still passionate. I still want to win and sometimes come off as being too brash and bold. But at the same time, I know where my faith is. I know where I'm going to be in eternity, and my wife and my children. So those are the things that are important. I don't get to see my granddaughters enough. They live in South Georgia, Moultrie. That's tough. But we got to go down for a granddaddy and grandmother day on September 8th. Eat breakfast with them, and we'll go down and see them then. And I got to go back on October 3rd. They're doing the celebration for our national championship team, 2015 team. Yeah. So we're at the Colquitt Valdosta game, so I got to go there for that Friday night because we play on a Thursday night here at Coosa. But I just think my life's changed, guys. I mean, I'm not chasing wins. I'm not chasing championships. If they come, great. But that's just not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think that it's mentoring kids, helping children, because I've been fortunate with my own children.
Yeah.
And so, in the relationship I have with my 4 boys and my 3 girls, I think is important to me and my grandkids. Got a 5-month-old grandboy, that was just born back
How old
in
is
March.
your grandbaby?
James is 15 months.
15
Then I
months.
have a three-year-old granddaughter as well.
You can't beat grandchildren,
Cannot,
man. You
man.
can't, man. But I think, but I believe that in all that. I just think with the relationship I have with my family and my kids and my grandkids, I think has the same parallels as with our players, and so I love being around them. I'm blessed to be there. I'm blessed to be at Coosa, man. It's a great opportunity for me because I'm doing it for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for the wins.
know that.
$4, coach.
Yeah, $4 for 4 months. So I mean, I think that's the issue. I mean, I'm not chasing money. I'm not chasing wins. I'm chasing titles. I'm helping kids, and I'm keeping the Lord first. And I'm gonna keep it like that.
Amen.
And I may mess up some.
Well, we appreciate you letting us dig into that side too, because something, Jerry and I, we love you. We had you here at the studio, golly, years
Several
ago.
years ago,
We just hung out and talked about ball, which was awesome. It was in our old studio, but we're impressed that you're very transparent with your relationship with the Lord, and I think a lot of media outlets just don't allow that to shine through.
No.
Now, one thing, I'm a pastor. That's my call. I've done it for over 30 years in full-time ministry. My passion is people knowing the Lord, but not religion.
Yeah, I'm
real,
the same way.
Being real.
Real.
And that's what God has done in your life and your bride's life. I remember just a few months ago, I got to say this is hilarious because you don't remember it probably, but I do. And I told Mark, matter of fact, when you left the restaurant that night, I texted Mark and I said, let me just tell you who did not know who I was, but then his wife told him who I was. we were at Colby, and my wife and I walked in, and I walked by and pat you on the shoulder. I said, good to see you, Coach. And you recognize, you said, I know him. I'm supposed to know him. And your wife told you who I was.
She's good about that.
And y'all came back over at the end. And my wife said, they are nice people. I said, listen, next level.
Yeah.
Next level. He meets so many people every day. He forgets them. But I will tell you that on my behalf as a broadcaster and a pastor, thank you for being genuine and not being the high and mighty Rush Propst that everybody thinks you are. Yeah. We know who you are, and God knows who you are. So we appreciate that.
You have to admit you make mistakes. You have to admit it. You have to, and I've admitted it. And so the former head football coach at Georgia told me when I first went to Georgia, I kept apologizing for the things I'd done at Hoover. I just kept apologizing. Every time I'd speak to somebody or a group, I'd apologize. And Ray Goff, y'all know Ray?
Yeah, sure.
Ray's from Moultrie. And Ray come up to me and step one night. He put his arms around both of us. And he goes, Rush, both of you, quit apologizing. He said, "Is the Lord forgave you?" And I said, "Yes, He has." He said, "Do you have a walk with the Lord?" "Yes, I do." He said, "Well, quit apologizing." Yeah. And so, and Coach Saban said basically the same thing to me all the time. Same thing, basically, quit apologizing. So, I think at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. I made an ultimate mistake, and I paid the price for it. And I think, but at the same time, if I'd have gone a different path, Jerry, the bad path,
Mm.
and those children wouldn't be here,
Mm.
I might be the head coach at Mississippi State.
Wow.
But how could you live with that?
Yeah, you're
I
right.
can't live with that.
You were almost on that saving staff.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were.
yeah, I was. I
Yeah.
was for 2
Couple
days.
I knew it was fun.
Couple of
Hey, will
days.
you read a couple of those comments, will you?
Yeah, well, Deanna Flanagan, which you know and love,
Oh,
Rush,
yeah. Love
says
Deanna.
Rush and Stephanie are two of the greatest, hardworking people I've ever met. Coosa's fortunate to have them. This is what Coosa is about. Ronnie witnessed to 2 young men last night. Whitney Self says, Steph, this is the gospel. Steph keeps him straight. We're keeping her even if he leaves. So guess what? She's staying at Coosa.
Yeah, they're not letting Steph go. That's the point. Hey, I do want to talk about some football, Coach.
Darn
I
right.
enjoy that
Love it.
so much. But everybody wants to talk about your best teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know, come on, Hoover, the
Yeah.
2015 team, and Colquitt County was.
good grief.
I can't name a better team than that in high school football, and I've been around a lot of them. I want to talk about your worst team.
I got a few.
Let's go back to Asheville.
Yeah.
Can we go to Asheville if we can?
Which
And,
one?
Let's talk about that 1990 team. This is for you, Kevin Moore.
Yeah, you're welcome, Kevin.
We were 1-9,
Yes, sir.
and we lost about 7 games that year by 1 score, like maybe 8 games. We only got blown out in 1 game. That was Piedmont. At Piedmont beat us pretty good, like 38-7 or something. But that was George Hoppenzel's team, and Bill Clark was over there. He had left me. He was on my staff in '89 and went back to Piedmont, his hometown. But that team though set a cornerstone of what was to come, because we had about 12 sophomores, which is a big number.
Huge for that.
And so we had about maybe 11, 12 sophomores. They played 8 JV games.
Wow.
They were 7-1.
Yeah.
Turn around on Friday night and play and keep games, lose 10-7, 13-12, 14-7. I just hung in. Well, they played 18 ball games that year. That same group turned around the following year and go 7-3.
They did.
So
And then when they were seniors,
oh yeah,
12-2.
12-2, and probably a play or 2 away from being state champions.
Can we talk about this for a second? Talk about the and we'll stay with that. We know everyone knows we love Asheville, man. We
Sure,
consider
yeah.
Asheville in Etowah
Yeah,
County.
That was my first gig.
Talk about the coaching legacies at Asheville.
Oh yeah, it's
man.
unreal.
Unbelievable. You start naming those people. Bill Clark, John Gross,
Yes,
It's crazy.
Sean Sutton.
Sean Sutton. And I
Sean Sutton did
well,
a great job.
they just throw Marco Brown's name in there.
Yeah, he happened to stop by there. Well, he brought you on. So,
He did. He
yeah,
did.
You were on side.
So he was,
What a great little area
No,
for
you know,
tremendous coaches.
and a lot of good coaches have been there now. I mean, Bubba Walls was there. You had,
I forgot about Bubba.
yeah, you got some other guys too. David Easy replaced me, and so there's been Mark Sanders is doing a good job.
He's going to
He
be
won a
special.
he won a game last Friday night.
Yep,
So
yep.
Big Spring. That's a huge
It's a
one.
big round.
That's a big deal.
That's Gadsden.
Oh yeah,
When Mark was there, though,
Okay.
we beat Springville first game too.
That's
At
true.
Springville.
Really?
Just saying.
yeah.
Just saying.
So,
By 6 points?
A little bit more than that.
but Ash was a great. It was a great learning curve for me as a young 31-year-old head football coach. At the time, I wasn't married first year, and so and me and Bill and John were
College
grinding.
roommates, right?
Yeah, we were all grinding, working, and they were in college. And
Crazy.
That's nuts.
I was. It was a great run there. Enjoyed it. Had a great principal, Kid Logan. The field's named after
It
Kid
is.
Coach.
Yep.
And so, when he retired, he told me he was retiring in February. Then I looked for a job, and so
Smart.
I was going to get out of there. Then,
Hey,
so,
the seats there come from old Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I remember that.
Yeah,
You told me
yeah.
that. When y'all were
And of course,
yeah.
first thing Mark did when he was there, put it in a big scoreboard, jumbotron.
Of course. Of course.
Then don't worry about that.
So you went from Asheville to
You can handle that.
Eufaula. Beautiful lake.
Yep.
Yeah, but
And you had some good seasons there.
Yeah, we did. Couldn't get past the second round. Got
10-2 your last year, right?
10-2 my last
Yeah.
year. Got beat in the second round the first year I was there. Upset the number 1 team in the state in the first round of the playoffs. Big Stan Hofeld, it was 10-0, ranked number 1, ranked 17th nationally. We upset them over there and beat them on a Hail Mary.
We'll
And,
take it.
Anyway, but we could never get. We just had bad playoff luck. Second round, we caught Escambia that was ranked high. I think they were ranked 2 or 3, and they came in there and beat us pretty good. And then Wetumpka was ranked 2 behind Blunt, and we caught them in the second round in '96. So, sometimes you get bad playoff luck.
Emmett Smith's brother Emery was on that '93 you followed.
Really?
I mean that Escambia County team.
Oh yeah,
He was a bad. Went to Syracuse.
Next
actually.
level.
they were really good. Yeah.
So the next stop is the one. Looking at your resume, Rush, were you drinking?
That's what a lot of people think. When we talking about Terry Curtis,
Okay.
so Terry goes, Rush, what in the world are you doing? He said, you realize you're going to go down there and get lost and you'll never get out of the bayou. He said, you're done. He said, you've killed your coaching career. He told me that.
Yeah.
And so Terry, I don't know of a guy we were starting the Alabama Coaches Association. That was in '96. We went to Valdosta. I spoke over there. And the GACA, which there were 1,700 coaches in Valdosta. Alabama didn't have one. So we had a committee of 8 of us on that. I was one of those 8. And we started developing the Coaches Association. And everybody on that association committee told me, said, you're a fool to go there. And so not one, I don't know one that said that I shouldn't do it. But I just felt, I thought I had no hatchet job. Got turned down.
That was your dream job, right?
Yeah.
Going home.
Wanted to go home.
Creek Bank.
Go to Creek Bank. I was going to take it. I thought I had the job. Principal calls me on a 4th of July week. I'd come home. I'd already interviewed. I was getting my stuff ready, thinking I was going to get the job. Mo Smith was talking to me at Glencoe. Had offered me a job at Glencoe. And so the principal called me and said, we're going in a different direction. When he said that, my stomach just turned over.
Sure.
I mean, it was sickening. And so that plus and I told Mo, so I told Glencoe that I was probably, that I was thinking heavily about it. So we went back and forth for a week. And I didn't go to Mobile till about the end of July, a week before football season started.
Wow.
But I went as the AD at most schools. So I was AD at Alba and I was AD at Grand Bay, and I was not supposed to coach. So right about 2 or 3 days before the start of fall season, Billy Odom retired. He had the interim tag.
Yeah.
Those schools had been open for 80 years. They had played each other for 80 years.
Wow.
Grand Bay and Alba. But they both were really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. I think Grand Bay had won 3 games in 4 years. Alba had won 1 game in 2 years. So I went that Thursday before Monday starting practice. The Booster Club came to me and said, we'll pay you X amount of dollars if you'll do the interim head coach. We did it without telling the superintendent, Mr. Sousa, who had hired me. And boy, he was mad. So, but he didn't fire me. And so I coached the Alba team that year, and we go 5-4.
And you beat Grand Bay in the season, right?
That's 56-3.
That's cool.
Beat them bad. And
so that is, you know where that's at, right?
You know where it is?
Where, Elba?
No.
Alba.
Bayou Baptist.
Yeah, Bayou
Baptist.
My wife calls it something different.
Yeah, she would. But she's educated.
But it's a good place. Passionate football, and to be honest with you, that next year.
That's where Bubblegum Shrimp is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And so the next year we knew we won a state title in '98 with Alma Bryant, and that name changed twice.
Jeez.
And so the colors changed twice.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, but
that was a 12-1 team, right?
Yeah,
12-1 team.
And really, that team was really good, and probably could have won a state title. Viger upset us in the quarters, and I think, but I was coach of the year, and that's how I got to Hoover County.
All right, so let's get this out of the way. We got people that are blowing up right now. Let's just get it out of the way. You want me to do it, Danny Starnes?
Ask this question, Coach.
I got to do it. You go ahead.
Sure.
Do it, Jerry.
So, are you going to be the new head coach at Auburn next year?
It's all over.
The rumor started somewhere, Coach. I don't
maybe
know.
if you're on Kapow, probably.
I will
Danny
say,
Starnes.
I got to ask it.
I will say, Hugh and I are good friends, and so I know he's battling some prostate cancer, but who ain't? If you're over 50, who ain't? I mean, in some form or fashion. So
I just heard Jeff book his
You shut
proctology
your
business,
face
man. And
right
I was
now.
gonna, and I offered
Coach,
to
keep
check
talking.
for him.
Shut your face.
I offered to check.
No,
Just go.
listen. No,
Hey,
listen.
but
Keep going.
men don't. It's crazy that men don't get that check.
That's
I
true.
do, because because I've got cancer in my family. Both my mom and dad died of cancer, and then I've had stage 4 cancer.
Yeah,
So
you're a survivor, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
More ways than one.
Absolutely.
But before we get to Hoover, a little bit about Hoover.
We're avoiding the Auburn question.
No. Of course he's gonna be the next head coach at Auburn.
I believe that.
I think. Well,
Me
listen.
too.
I think
They can do much worse. I can tell you that. Some of the people they've hired.
Oh, Coach, they have.
that's fair. That's fair.
I say that. You did. They have.
I'll put my record against Hartson's record any day of the week.
Come on.
Lord mercy. What kind of hire was that?
I don't understand it. But I want to stay with that Alabama Brown team just for a second because I think it's so important because you're known for offense.
Mm-hmm.
The defense you had that year, Coach.
And Alabama Brown.
Yeah.
9 shutouts.
Stupid. Jeff, 9 shutouts.
Yes.
So is Teddy defense stuff?
No,
that style?
No,
He ain't even close.
Teddy don't know how to spell defense. He just calls it D.
He does not.
We had one team that threw a double pass and scored. And we had one team to drive, which was in 10 games for a touchdown.
Murphy
scored on a double pass.
Correct. Yeah.
We won the game, but we made them 12-7.
Yeah.
And then one team, T.R. Miller, took the opening drive and drove down our throat and scored. That's it. The whole year. In 10 games, that's only 2 points.
That's crazy.
We gave up 13 points. No, we gave up 14 points. 14 points. And then first round, we beat Prattville 7-0. So that's 9 shutouts. And then in the second round, we go to Phoenix City.
Central Phoenix, yeah.
And beat them 26-13 or whatever.
21-12.
It was 21-12.
Yeah.
So, and then Viger beat us 21-14.
What a game.
I'm looking at your computer. That's not even up on his computer. Are you guys idiot savants? How do y'all remember?
Well, I'm the idiot part. He's the savant.
Well, okay, he's savant. That's fair. That's
But
fair.
defense is what got me to do the job. Wasn't offense, it was defense.
That's what I want to go into. Yeah. He's like, talk about that and how that came about.
Well, I'd always been a defensive guy, and and I'd sort of switched to the wing T at Asheville because we didn't have a passing attack. I've always liked to throw the football, but we just didn't have the elite skill guys that we needed. We have 2 good receivers, but we didn't have enough, and so we got the wing T because Scott Countryman and John Perry and Jeremy Jones, who ended up signing at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But I think the defensive part, we were doing things that nobody were doing. Bill Clark, like a brother to me, he's a defensive genius. Yeah. Bill Clark is a defensive genius.
He going to coach again?
I hope so. I would love for Bill to get back in coaching.
How's his back?
His back's fine.
Good.
His back, but Bill is so smart defensively. But on the same side of that, like Bill, his dad taught us both, Reagan Clark. We know what we don't just concentrate on one side of the ball. Bill understands offense too, just like I understand defense.
Sure.
Although we're tagged by the media as some defensive guru, offensive guru, but we know the other side of the ball very well, and I think it helps us. But I just think that the defensive part that you're referring to is I think that Bill and I met a lot in the mid-'90s. He was at Coffee, and then he was at Dothan, and at that time, people were going into this Bob Stoops, Dave One style of 4-3 defense.
Right.
Well, then there were some people out there with the Buddy Ryan 4-6 defense, and we intermingled it. We intermingled that where we stemmed from one to the other. Nobody in the state of Alabama was doing that. Yeah. Nobody. We would line up in Bear, stem to 4-3. We'd line up in 4-3, stem to Bear, and people, they just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
It was mass chaos for any offense trying to go against it. And I think that helped us so much from a defensive perspective, and that took time for people to figure that out. And so, and then when I was hired at Hoover, Bill, he came with me. He was with me in '99.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he was there from January to July. He took the Prattville job, but he had already put in the defense. He'd been through all season, been through spring, been through summer. So he established the defensive culture there. And then I kept Kevin Shirley, who had been at Troy. He's Larry Blakeney's nephew. I kept him as a DC for the first 2 years. But I've always had good defenses, although offensively is where people think I'm guy, but I've always had good defenses.
Yeah, well, I think because that defense you guys were doing, it got offensive out of what they like to do, and they tried to attack what they think you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped doing what they were good at.
Yeah.
You guys were brilliant.
Made them left-handed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from '99, the Hoover journey, and great championship. Your second year, you won a state championship.
Yep.
I don't think that was your best state championship though at Hoover.
No.
I don't think that was the best team.
What do you think it was?
Probably the best team was 06 as far as talent level. Preseason ranked number 1 in every poll in the nation.
Yeah.
Loaded. You know, we dropped the John Curtis game because they had the Heisman Trophy guy, the receiver John Curtis, and we lost that game, and then we lost state championship game to Prattville. So that team, though, talent-wise, we had like 15 Division I players on that team.
God.
3 to sign at Alabama, 2 to Auburn,
Talk about that.
2 to Clemson, Hawaii, Boston College.
Should have been your 5th state championship in a row.
Yeah, should
Really.
And so, but probably the most I got out of a team would be either 04, because they was undefeated, or 05. 05, probably the best.
What do you think?
They're both undefeated
Right.
state championship team.
But I think 05, we won it 4 in a row. 2 of days of being taped. They handled that very well the first
They did.
year. And, you know, and we didn't have a game that was close. We won semis 38-0, won state championship 56-12. Quarterfinal, I think we won 38-6.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was
So
bad.
we was not challenged in 5 rounds that year.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know.
I heard Alabama was scared to play you that year. As well. I don't know.
George If says he's known Rush for close to 50
Who's
years.
this?
George, is it
I
George?
can never pronounce his
George
name.
Olive.
Olive.
He said, I've known Coach for close to 50 years, one of the best high school coaches to walk a sideline.
Fact.
Yeah.
George is such a good
buddy.
dude,
We love
man.
him.
George has got a feed store.
He
right
does.
outside.
Or
Good
he
job.
hooked us up with okra
Man.
and everything.
Yeah,
He
George's a great
feeds all
guy,
kinds of
man.
stuff. I mean,
Wonderful,
he
man.
loves you, by the
He
way.
does.
He's a big fan.
No, he's super.
So now before we get into Coosa stuff, I got to talk a little bit about that 15 national championship team at Colquitt.
Yeah.
Maybe the best high school team I've ever seen assembled.
It was
Talk
a
about that team a little bit.
great football team. We won it. We went 15-0 and 14 too, and won it on the largest classification in Georgia in a very, very, very tough deal. You know, and and then in 15, that team was, we had a lot of them coming back. The problem with that team was we lost the best running back, was picked up for accessory to murder, and he really wasn't involved. He was and he wasn't. He just got out of prison within the last month.
Wow.
But probably the best running back I've ever seen.
Wow.
If that kid would have not got in trouble,
Yeah.
and was on that team would have been the best assembled team, because you had South Carolina, Middle Tennessee, X and Z, Indiana tied in, West Georgia guy, Georgia Southern, quarterback Naval Academy, Sanford lineman. Defensively, the linebackers were Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia Southern. Secondary was Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Somewhere in there, I'm leaving somebody out. Kicker was went to Georgia Southern, kicked there.
And they all won national championships at Georgia Southern, by the way.
Yeah. And so D lineman was at Georgia Southern. D lineman was Central Florida. We were loaded, man.
Unreal.
Loaded. But the 18 team was just as loaded, and we got beat. We were 14-1, got beat in the championship game. That team was loaded. I mean, you had Dejon Edwards, Georgia running back, Ty Leggett, maybe better than him.
Clegg was
bad
boy.
Tons of talent on that team too. We just didn't play well in the state championship game.
You play in some rivals, right?
Yeah.
Coaching some rivals, playing some rivals. Talk about that Valdosta Colquitt County.
Oh man, it's the Lowndes game became as big or bigger because of the hatred between the two.
Sure.
But the Valdosta Colquitt rivalry is the oldest in the state of Georgia. I think Colquitt's won 44 times. Valdosta's won 66 times.
That's crazy.
Something like that. They've been playing since 1912.
Yeah. And Valdosta had a run of you don't want to play them boys.
They've won 24 state titles. 24 state titles. Last one they won was in 16.
Yeah.
And their only loss was to us. And they were a class below us that year. They had dropped down to 6A. And then they've also won 6 national championships. So and they're the winningest high school football program in the nation.
So good.
Only behind Michigan in total wins. So Valdosta's got some deep traditions. There's no question about it.
I hate Michigan.
It messed you up a little bit.
I'll be honest with you.
I saw
almost
your rear end tightened up a little bit.
All right, Coach. Let's get into. Everyone wants to talk Coosa. People just kill jumping on. Thank you guys so much. And by the way, we're not even going to give you a hard time for not showing up last week.
No, only the first thing he was going to talk about.
Only because how much we like Jeff.
That's a fact.
Good interview. We pushed it out. We wanted people to watch it because we think Jeff is a great guy. So we
messing his own show for you, Jeff Spiegel.
Thank Jeff.
Dang it! I don't even know.
Jeff's a good dude.
I don't even know what was going on, man. Why?
Jeff Spiegel calls 3340. Screw Kapow.
They got.
Hey, if Jeff would call me, I'm gonna skip your show.
Hey, but that didn't last for 5 minutes.
It was 17.
Well, let's be honest. Can we be clear?
Okay.
I don't want to be self-absorbed,
but you are.
I am, but we get more views than Jeff Spiegel.
Oh, that's true. We do. Yeah. Yeah, but I know Jeff appreciated all 36 views.
By the way, somebody wants to know, does Rush win the award for the best hair of coaches in Alabama? Yes, he does.
It's not going to be Marco Bryant.
No, it's not.
And he never takes his hat off. Hey, you've coached a lot of good teams. Let's talk about
Rush Propst, the convertible of hats.
Who wore it best? Those are coming. Who wore it best, Spurrier or?
Rush Propst.
Rush Propst.
For sure. I was wearing it for me once.
Yeah, hey, let me say this, but before we really dive into Coosa real quick, this is our third year doing the Coach Steve Smith show.
Yeah.
He said that you were by far one of the best parents he ever had to deal. He wasn't sure how it was going to work, right?
Yeah.
He said you were class. And you were one of the best parents he ever had.
I love Steve.
Yeah.
I think Steve Smith, I could have chosen any coach through 3 states for my kids to go play.
Yeah.
But when I thought about it, I knew Piedmont was on a good run. I knew he had a good team, and I knew Steve liked to throw it around a little bit. My son was a wide receiver. Both kids were. And Steve was just, you couldn't have asked for a better person for your kid to play for. And he's a class act. He's a good football coach.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker. I think very highly of him and his family and his kids.
Yeah.
And he treated my kids wonderful.
Yeah.
My daughter, my 2 boys, and I just didn't interfere. I didn't have to. Steve didn't need me at all. He had won a bunch of games too, man, a bunch of championships. He didn't need me. So I enjoyed it because I could sit back, let Steve do it. And I would go to practice maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month. Because I started coming to Coosa's practice.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
Just watching and
he said the kids would always end up at your house, though.
Oh, yeah. We'd have tons of football players come out of the house. And we were downtown right in the middle of we stayed in the doctor's office and an abandoned doctor's office. And it was fun, man. I enjoyed the 2 years at Piedmont was so much fun.
Yeah.
Their pregame tailgating, after game tailgating, their whole atmosphere at Piedmont is what high school football in Alabama is about.
Heck yeah.
I mean, they do it better than anybody. I'm telling you. I mean, it rivaled our Hoover stuff when we were rolling. And the food was home cooked.
Somebody said it was Doug Rosser. It was Auto Supply that gave you guys the yeah.
Man, they'd cook
Golly.
Pigs. They'd fry crappie. They would.
He said it right.
Crappie. Yep.
And the food was to die for.
That's
guys.
awesome.
I mean, always got their
Philip O'Brien, you're not seeing the cups because we gave them all away.
We did. No, except for, we took ours home.
I kept one, he kept one.
Yes.
And it's my favorite coffee mug because it keeps the coffee
Mine
hot.
too.
It's just
Every
not
morning.
big enough. I got to fill it 13 times. All right, now let's talk a little. It's been a while since you've coached small ball. Let's call it small ball.
Okay.
Not that it matters other than numbers.
Football's football.
But numbers, I think if there's one weakness for this Coosa team, it's you just don't have a lot of kids.
It's like I just interviewed a while ago. We're going to lose. If the game becomes a battle of attrition, we're going to lose that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to play 15 kids.
Yeah.
So if they get hurt, somebody gets hurt like other night,
Yeah.
in effect, we couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
We got two linemen there to
That's right.
keep me, and a center that wasn't playing very well at the time. And I know people say we should have run the ball, but you ain't got no linemen to run the ball. It's easier to pass block, especially late in the game because
Sure.
they're tired. So you can get in front of somebody and prevent them from getting to your quarterback in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So we just felt like, especially the second half, we had to throw it because we couldn't run the ball. And so, that's the issue. So,
Yeah.
like if we lose a receiver or two, we can't throw the ball. Even one receiver kills us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we lose a running back, we have to move Kylan to running back. We lose a quarterback, we have to get in some kind of wildcat stuff. I mean, we don't want to do it, but it is what it is. And then if multiple injuries happen, I'm not kidding you, we'd have to stop the game.
Yeah.
Or just take a knee.
Yeah.
Take a knee. You think anybody else hurt.
Yeah.
So it is a scary thing. When I look at Mark and them last year, and by the way, he did a phenomenal job.
Yes, he did.
These last 3 years, he
Yeah.
has built the right culture. He's built these kids. But when I went back and looked at that tape inside and out from last year,
Mm-hmm.
they were a better football team in Pell City.
Yeah.
They had better players in Pell City.
Yeah.
They had 20 good football players.
Yeah.
Pell City was still young, bunch of juniors. And when you go player to player, I thought Coosa was better. I didn't think so going into the game.
Yeah.
But after now, I've watched it this week a lot.
Mhm.
Coosa had a better football team. If they played Pell City 5 times, they beat them 4.
Wow.
4 out of 5 last year.
Yeah.
But they lost 8 good football players and have not replaced it.
Sure.
They've only replaced. And Mac is not John David yet.
Oh no, totally.
No, he's not there yet.
He's a sophomore.
Yes, I mean it'll be the end of his junior year, going into senior before he becomes what John David is.
But I will tell you, the toughness he showed
Oh, he's a tough kid.
in that pocket,
Yeah.
and taking
Yeah.
some hits and
Mhm.
staying tall,
He's
I was
improved.
impressed.
I was too.
Thank God he gets that from his mama.
Yeah. But
Tough fact.
I think with him, that's what I said on another interview this week. He was 13 of 28 for 169 yards, but he had 5 drops.
Mhm.
If 5 of those other balls were caught, and they all should have been caught, because they were easy drops, then he would have been 18 of 28 for about 220
Yeah.
or more.
That one tunnel
Changes.
Thomas Cruz touchdown.
That's right.
So he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if I would have taken 18 for 28 for 225 and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, I'll take it to the bar.
Heck yeah.
So, but at the end of the deal, players are hollering, let's run the ball. Coach has been hollering, run the ball. But when you go back and look at it, we got 2 guys up front in a major part of that game in the second half that were not capable of run blocking. And so, again, we have to be more balanced. I get it. But there's one thing about me that nobody knows. There's nobody on this staff or nobody around. Offensively, I know what we're doing. And so, I've been in a lot of different wars, and I know how to manipulate things. But the problem we're having to do it right now is smoke and mirrors, and a lot of mirrors and a lot of smoke. So, we have to manipulate a lot of things, and you just can't throw yourself in a situation you're not going to be successful. And I know I've had coaches tell me, well, our kids are tougher than people. I get that when you're 20 deep.
Sure.
When you got 20 players like they had last year, it's a different ball game. But
Have
this
you
year,
had that before?
never have I had this thin a team.
Yeah.
Even when I had 25 kids at Asheville, we were deeper than this. Not much more,
Right.
but a little more. We
Yeah.
played 18 to 20 kids at Asheville out of the 25. So we had at Heflin that year, we had 27 kids. We played about 19 or 20 kids. So when I was at Ohatchee, we had 52 players. Listen to this. 52 players Ohatchee. 1975. No one played both ways
That's
but
unheard.
me.
That's unheard of.
Crazy.
But me.
But
But me. And then as the season went, Wayne Whaley and Dennis Nance played both ways. So there were about 4 of us that were playing both ways, you know. But that year we started out 2 platooning. And as we got into it, I think Coach Clark decided we're playing Alexander, Lincoln, Weaver, teams bigger than us.
Yeah.
He wanted to play a number of kids.
Mhm.
He was smart. He was way ahead of his time. And so, but the Wayne Whaley kid could play both ways. Dennis Nance could play both ways. I could play both ways. And so,
But you're comparing yourself. Jeff, this is a dude that checked himself out of school to go run in a state track meet, and his school didn't have track.
you're right.
You know,
You're right.
let's tell the stories, right? You're different, Coach.
And won the 100-yard dash
That's
and the long
And he
run
did. And
in the sectional meet.
your brother was a better athlete.
Yeah, he
Oh.
probably was. Well, he played baseball, and I
Yeah.
didn't.
I'm
So,
saying, I'm throwing it out there, Coach. So
I mean, he
He
was a
played
good player.
baseball where he went to school.
Well, we didn't
Sure.
have, when I went to school, Ohatchee, we didn't have a baseball team.
Yeah.
They didn't start a baseball team until 2 years after I left. Track was our thing. Football, basketball, track in Ohatchee in the 70s. And so, but you know, I think when you look at this team, we got
Fun.
15. We got Cooper, Pierce,
Coach Short.
Oh yeah, Coach Short says that.
Homer.
He's blowing you up.
Yeah, Coach Short says that tell you hello and good luck for the rest of the season. Michael Short's
Yeah,
good
great.
dude.
He's like a brother. We're like brothers.
He just said, remember, you started as a defensive coordinator.
That's true.
No, he's right.
He's a-
1981, I think it's more than that.
Oh.
Three guys on offense, more than 11. That's 14. There's a 15 somewhere in there. I think we're playing 15 guys on offense, 14 to 15. Keener will play a little bit,
freshman.
so just to give us a rest. So that would be 15. On defense, we're playing about 14.
Mm.
So,
God.
and all of them guys are playing both ways. So going back to Coosa, the battle of attrition,
Yeah.
you got kids playing 120 snaps versus some kids at Pell City going to play 50 snaps.
Yeah.
We had a good kicker before you showed up.
Okay.
I think you scared him.
I don't know.
I was kidding. He's gonna get there. And you're known to develop players, but I think you're maybe even more known in the coaching world to developing coaches.
Mm. That's good.
Got a lot of good coaches, guys. I've always hired people that to cover up my weaknesses, and I've always believed that you hire guys that you're not good at something, you got to fix it by hiring somebody. But
That's right.
I've always hired people that want to be here a couple of years and then go and want to move on. They want to be either head coaches or they want to be college coaches. I've always had a lot of success with that, and it's much easier when you do it that way. And I've met 24, 25 guys who work for me that are coaching college
Heck yeah.
football.
Wow.
Let's talk about what you have now with Alaric Williams, good young coach,
Good young
and
coach.
Teddy Whitmire, and
Yes.
another young coach.
Yep.
Talk about those two.
Both of them are really good coaches. Told both of them they got to get their certificates in order, and because I think both of them got a chance to really be special. Teddy's got some experience. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
he's been in the fire before, so you know he's hard on them. He's rough. He's tough, but that's why 90% of all coordinators. People that don't know, if people think Teddy's too tough on kids, they hadn't been around Jeremy Pruitt, Todd Watson, Jeremy Real, Travis Pierce. I can name you about 6 coordinators I've had that are all about the same. So.
Now you're preaching, coach.
Yes, and then you throw in the deal with Alaric. Alaric's a good young football coach. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I'm really impressed with Alaric a lot.
Yeah.
I really am. I think that he's got some work to do and some things he can get better at. Like I've told him, even at 31, I didn't know nothing. You know, I didn't really start feeling comfortable in my skin till probably I was in the second year at Mobile, or probably the second year at Hoover, when I started feeling like my confidence level was where
Yeah.
I needed to be as head coach. So, but that means I had 8 years or 9 years as a head coach to go through all kinds of mistakes I made of things that hurt your football team. So when I got to that second year at Hoover or the second year in Mobile, I felt more confident in what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so, and then when I went to Georgia my first year, I didn't hire the staff I wanted. You know, I did hire some good coaches, but it just wasn't completely right. Going into that second year in 09, I fixed it. 10, I fixed it again. By 11, I had the staff I wanted. It took me 4 years in South Georgia because I didn't know as many people.
Sure.
over there.
No, that makes sense.
You can't. I mean, people are going to leave Alabama, come out of the retirement system, and go into a new retirement system. So I had to hire people inside the state of Georgia.
And that heat down there, good lord. Hey, who wears tighter pants, Alaric or Josh Nibley?
Oh, here it is. Josh.
Nibbling. That's nibbling. Josh, I think Josh gets up in the morning and paints them on. I think he has an airbrush and he paints them on. I swear I do.
So funny.
Josh is a good football coach.
Well, somebody just said, what's your number one year of speeches? What year do you think you had the best strand of
I know my
locker room speeches?
I got my favorite
I
coach.
don't know.
We have ours too.
I don't know. I mean, everybody talks about the Dean speech. They talk about the beat the you know what out of them.
That's my favorite.
That's mine
So,
too.
you know, but I think I don't think I've ever won a football game. So, I think some of the Colquitt speeches, I didn't really have to say much to Colquitt, to be honest with you. We had that music going, and kids would self-motivate themselves, and I basically said, let's go.
Great question. So when is Netflix coming?
What do you call it?
They
So
would,
what?
You've already
I
thought
don't
about
know. I've got some ideas, but Netflix would be all over this, guys. Y'all know that. They'd be all over it.
Well, Coach, we're going to get out of here. And I know people are calling Sheriff Jonathan Horton. I can't find Rush.
Yeah,
Where's he at?
where's
You got to
Rush?
return calls. So any parting words? And hey, we need to get people out to this game.
Yes.
Be loud. Just not too loud in front of where we're broadcasting
Oh my
from.
gosh, Philip Franklin.
Yeah.
You got to be on the other side.
Well, I think for this game, guys, this is a great game to showcase us. We're bringing a Class 6A contender to our stadium, and I think that you don't get this opportunity very often. That the stadium's going to be jam packed.
Right.
Pale City travels as well as any team, anywhere they bring a crowd.
Their band's got more people than our school.
Yes, they do. And Funderburg does Corey Funderburg's a great band director, and their band has tons of pride, and they do a great job. When you're coaching football at Pell City, you got to live up to the band. So, but I think, their student body will be great, and they'll bring a lot of people. And you got Trustful and Gadsden playing right across the road from us, so people better get there early. Parking, traffic nightmare, and the parking too. Right. If you pull up in there at 6:15 thinking you're going to get a spot, you may not. You may have to park on the grass a quarter of a mile away. So I think people need to get there early, get their seats early, and because I think PLC will come early. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
They'll get there early.
I know that Mr. Asheville himself will be doing the national anthem. Kevin Moore is going to be playing.
Good.
It will be the biggest crowd he's ever played in front of.
Look at Coach Self's name for the show, for Rush's Netflix show, for the Coosa Christian. Look at that.
I didn't see it.
The Revival. Come on.
Coach, I like it.
I like it.
Coach, thank you so much. I look forward to doing this every week and getting to dive in. I love nothing more than the X's and O's. I love doing that. Yep. But hearing your stories of football seasons past is pretty special. Thank you for opening up and kind of just letting everyone to see who Rush Propst is now. I thank God that, mistakes I've made in my life, I didn't have a 2-a-day film crew with me, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
we appreciate you, and we enjoy to see you going forward. And we have to get that precious wife of yours on as well.
Well, guys, it'll be a fun night Friday night. I think I know our kids will come play very hard. But the game's going to boil down to a few things, and y'all know what it's going to be. It's going to boil down to about several plays, especially early in the game, that we have to weather a storm because they're going to emotionally be ready.
Oh, they want payback.
Yeah, they want some payback, and plus me being over here, that'll.
Oh, did you coach there?
I did a little bit, and so I think that. But at the end of the day, we have to be smart in what we're doing. We got to tackle well. We got to sustain blocks well. We got to protect well. And we have to be efficient in the red zone. Our efficiency in the red zone cost us last week. That's it. Yeah. Our efficiency in the red zone. We get to in the red zone 5 times. We don't need to be 1 for 5. We need to be 4 out of 5 in the red zone.
Correct.
And then because I think Teddy will have our defense ready to play.
Sure.
It's a good matchup between him and Joey Bennett. Joey Bennett Joey's been with me for nearly 20 years. He's been with me. He started coaching me in 2004. And so, and then after he won all them championships with me, he went to Clay Chalmers, one wasn't there.
Yeah.
So this man is a genius when it comes to offensive football. He's smart.
It's going to be
So
Do you
it'll be a
think
good matchup.
that you, Coach Probst, get in his head a little bit, that he's going to have to change things up because you know him?
I know him pretty good by watching film, but Joey's smart enough to know he probably held some stuff last week. So it's still, you got to do what I don't know what he's going to do. His playbook is deeper than this room, and because it's our playbook, it's mine and Joey's. All my stuff he's got, every bit. He's got it chronicled on hard drives. He's got it and on Huddle all the way back to '99, all the way to right now. Everything we've ever done offensively is categorized in certain things. So what he pulls out, I don't know. I think I've got an idea because I'm hearing a few things that I won't say on the air. But and you never know, somebody, maybe a little birdie will fly over the field.
That's right.
Well, here's what I know, Coach. Our number one sponsor for the Kapow is the Sheldon and Varner Law Firm. So if you need us to put a word in to get those plays, redacted from me, we'll see what we can do.
Yes, or somebody can hack their computer. How about that?
We know a guy too.
Yeah, we know a guy.
He does work for the city guys. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Coach, thank you so much, guys. Stay close, stay clean. This is the Coach Rush Propst Show, Coosa Christian football, Friday night. Asking you to come on in to the house right there off of 759. You know where it is. Look